Hello, friends. My name is Jenny Disa, your host for this evening. I'm a senior manager at Aleph, a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. This is our 99th Career Talk broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every Friday, we aim to bring in valuable speaker to discuss the topic that are important to you and for your career. For the benefit of our new audience, let me quickly introduce Aleph. Aleph is an award winning edtech company, counsel over 23,000 students, top 10 study abroad consultants by Knowledge Review. Through us, we will have the option of 200 plus universities across 14 plus countries. We specialize in student scholarship and up till now distributed 23 crore scholarship to our students. So let's move on to our today's topic study in Germany, top choice of employment seekers. To discuss this exciting subject, we have with us an expert speaker. Let me do the honor of introducing her to you.
Hi, Jenny. Good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Shanice Francis. Shanice Francis is a regional recruitment manager for EU Business School for the past 4 years. Alumni graduated from EU Business School Geneva campus. Shanice is enthusiastic to meet new people and guide students with their study abroad and help craft their career in international setting. Welcome, Shanice.
Thank you, Jenny, for inviting me to the 99th Career Talk of Alif. It's been a pleasure being here. And thank you for the introduction. So, just once again, I'm Shanice Francis, the Regional Recruitment Manager for EU Business School. EU Business School has an education group, has been around since 1973. We're going to be set 50 years next year in 2023. And we have three different campuses, physical campuses in Barcelona, Spain, Munich in Germany, and Geneva in Switzerland. We also have our presence on an online platform as well.
Absolutely. Shanice, you are an alumni of EU Business School, and it would be a fun interaction today. I'm sure listening from the horse's mouth about having the perspective of being a student, experiencing the student life, and also staying in Europe, as a student, and now as an employee of this school. So, welcome to the show and to our audience. If you have any question, please feel free to write in your comments and we will try to address as we progress. So, let's begin the today's session with our first question. Shanice, Germany has been quite a popular destination, a lot of Asian student, Indian student do want to come to Germany and study. How would you best experience or define Germany to our audience here today as a student and as your experience personally?
Okay. So yes, as you rightly mentioned, Germany has been, one of the top five countries, has a study destination. It's been chosen. Students choose it all around. In fact, if you look at all the three campuses and you compare the three campuses we have Barcelona, Munich, and Switzerland, Geneva, and Switzerland. You will see that most students are going in for Munich in Germany as a campus, as a study destination. I think what is great about Germany is in Europe, it's the economical capital. You have it coming out in terms of the unemployment rate, be it, the kind of jobs that are being offered. Students really have a great experience. A lot of students choose Germany as a study destination for their master's or for their MBA program because you obviously have the 18 months job seekers visa post completion of the program, and a lot of students are getting jobs in Germany and are staying back working and even looking at PR options in Germany. So I think that's a great opportunity. If you look at Munich as a city, I'm going to talk a little bit specifically about Munich. So Munich as a city has a very low unemployment rate. If you look at that on Google, you will see that the unemployment rate is close to 4.3%. Even if you compare that to other cities in Germany, you will find it to be the lowest. Apart from that, you have Munich, which has also been titled as the Silicon Valley of Germany. particularly because of the presence of small to medium sized on enterprises. And then you have the big giants like HP, Siemens, BMW. Apple has launched a new manufacturing chip manufacturing production plant on the outskirts of Munich. So in that case, employment is something that is really available. In fact, in December as well of 2021, there was an article that came out saying that Germany requires 200,000 skilled labor in order to sort of spruce up the employment market as well. And I think lastly, it's the work-life balance that students look at. You're looking at a lot of ski trips that they can do in the winter. The summer is gorgeous. You have the English Gardens in Munich, which is larger than Central Park in New York as well. And then of course the Oktoberfest for students who are into the travel and tourism management industry. That attracts about 5 to 7 million tourists every year into the city of Munich. So I think there's a lot, and then of course not leaving out FC Bayern Munich. Again, for all the football fans out there, that's another entertainment value, I would say.
Wow. I mean, you've not left out any point, been very crisp at the same time, have covered what are the most important aspect of studying in Germany. Wonderful. Shanice, more on, the safety aspect in Germany and the climate. I mean, these are two things, parents usually ask if you could address me on these grounds.
Definitely, definitely. So, see, a lot of institutions, Europe again is a very safe place to a very large extent. I would say anywhere you go, you obviously have to sort of be on your guard. Even if you act too touristy and stuff like that, there is obviously a chance of the small and initial pickpocketing. But apart from that, there's no sort of real safety hazard in these kind of countries. We have never experienced it. We, again, as I mentioned, we've been around for 50 years. We've never really experienced a safety hazard to any student that has occurred. There are campuses, or there are going to be institutions which have accommodation on campus, but U Business School specifically does not have accommodation on campus, where we have accommodation off campus, which is about 10 to 15 minutes away walking distance. So of course you have the trams, you have buses, you have the metros, and Munich as a city is very very connected. Even Berlin, for that matter, even if you take Frankfurt, you must have obviously also traveled to these places, and you must be knowing that the transportation system is really good. In terms of building security, you always have like a keypad lock to enter the building, or you have a key card that gives you access to the building. And then you have the lifts. Sometimes the lifts also have a key code access, if it's about if it's like 10 p.m. in the night or even later, then you have to have a key code access to particularly enter a floor. So in that sense, security is not much of a concern, when you're living in Munich or anywhere in Germany for that matter. And in terms of the climate, obviously, it's very important that you have good winter wear. We have a very important intake coming up in October, and we keep telling our students the most crucial part for you to sort of enjoy Germany as a country or Munich as a city is having good winter wear. It's important. I preferably advise students to pick up their winter wear from Zara or from H&M, because that is the only sort of winter wear that's actually going to survive over there, and you get that over there as well. So pick it up. Have a proper pair of boots, a good jacket, some nice gloves, and a muffler, and I think you're set. The cold, of course, is going to be there. The wind speeds are higher, but it's not unbearable as long as you have the correct sort of clothing that is on you. And then of course you have the summer season, which is glorious. It's lovely to stay out during the summer. Students don't want to get into college or university at that time because it's so nice to be out. The sun's out like 10 o'clock in the night, so you have longer days, shorter nights, and I think that's a brilliant part. I love the summer season in Europe. But yeah, it's not something that is really difficult to adapt to as long as you have good clothing. So yeah, that's my only advice to students.
Absolutely. So take Shanice's advice about clothing, where you need to pick up the winter clothes from. Absolutely. Do not, waste your money. It will definitely save you some good clothing money. So Shanice, moving on to my next question. How could you best introduce EU Business School to our audience here?
So As an alumni, I can definitely tell you that EU Business School, I think there are a few points about EU Business School that I love the most. If you start off from a classroom level, I think the small class sizes is what really got me intrigued and sort of got me, very, I would say, into the program. You have professors that are working professionals, so they're not only teaching you at EU Business School, but they're also consulting other firms, or they own their own private firms. So that brings the technical know-how into the classroom, in whichever subject or in whichever course you're looking into. It's a very pragmatic approach. Your final exams or your midterm exams are not only based on your exams, but you also have presentations, or you have case studies or group work projects, which makes it a lot more interactive. Makes it a lot more practical. And your final score is only not dependent on one particular exam. You have continuous evaluation that we depend upon. So you'll have two assignments per semester, you have a midterm and a final exam. So it's really important to sort of focus on all these aspects, which give you a higher GPA at the end of the program. Coming to a little bit of out of class experience is the learning from leader series that we've had. We've had it now on for, I would say, more than 10 years, where we have different experienced professionals, chairmen and CEOs of different companies. To give you a few examples, we've had the CEO of Doha Bank, the country head of Google for Luxembourg and Belgium, the co-founder of Starbucks, the chairman of the LVMH group, on campus talking to us students, interacting with them, connecting with them on LinkedIn. And that basically helps students to grow out a network in Europe, which is very important, because here in India, students are definitely going to have networks of their own through family, friends, and people that they know of. But in Europe, when you're sort of alone, you need to create a network for yourself, which is really important. And then I would say we also have the Get Hired in Germany. That's a series that we love. We started last year actually, and we have different professionals from the German industry coming in and talking to our students how they can best get employed in Germany. So this is not only for EU Business School, but this is for any student that is seeking for for studies and further on for employment in Germany. So that's another thing that I would talk about. And of course, as I mentioned, our various campuses, students can obviously transfer between campuses. It's something that's of course available to students, but not mandatory at the same time. And then we have different sort of programs that are also available. We have the masters, we have the MBA and the bachelor's program. So depending on what the student is really looking for, we have it to suit their sort of benefited, or to suit their career to a large extent.
Absolutely, Shanice. I must admit, I did attend some of the sessions online, of this CEOs talking and, during COVID. So it helped me
Yeah,
also.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, Shanice, what are the popular programs at EU Business School that you can, share with us? And must want you to share about the QS ranking that we have for our popular courses also.
Yeah, for sure. So, just to touch upon, since we're talking about EU Business School, I'll start off with the ranking. So, we have
Yeah.
a ranking of being 42nd in Europe according to the QS rankings. We're also ranked, according to the Forbes magazine, we're ranked number in the top five in Germany as well, and in the top five in Spain as well. So rankings are pretty sorted out over there. We have a lot of accreditations as well. We have the IACBE, we have the IPO Siemens as well, and the ACBSP. Which is again the accreditations the students really require. In terms of the programs, as I mentioned, we have the bachelor's, we have the master's, and we also have the MBA programs. So some of the most common courses that we have, for example, at a bachelor's level, would be international relations, finance, communications, and PR, and we also have. Let me just try to think. What we have, sports management also has a niche program that we sell. Tourism and hospitality management is another course, as I mentioned, which is common. The master's program has a good mix of pure management courses like marketing, finance, management, entrepreneurship, and then you also have the techno management courses, which include business analytics and data science. So any student that has probably done a little bit of engineering and wants to go into the management side can also look at business analytics and data science. But again, having said that, we don't really require a technical background in order to pursue business analytics and data science. At an MBA level, we do have the management courses again, which is international business, global banking and finance. We have international marketing as well. Then we have the niche courses like entrepreneurship, sports management, digital business, blockchain management. And in the techno management aspect, we have project management, cloud computing, and information systems. So we have courses. We have a wide array of courses that students can choose from, and I'd be happy to guide any student on an individualistic basis if they're looking at any particular course that they want to go in for.
So I'm sure EU is touching all the 360-degree arena of business programs that any student want to choose, be it a technical student, be it a commerce or a management student.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just a myth breaking question I would want to ask you. Germany is Germany sounds to be offering a 2 years master courses. So is it so? What are the durations of the program? Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. Some universities offer a 2 year program, some offer 1 year. We particularly offer a 1 year program, which includes 3 semesters. Having said that, I think it's important to consider the credit factor, the ECTS factor into it. So our MBA program is a 90 ECTS program, whereas the master's program is 60 ECTS. So as long as the ECTS are completed, whether you do it over a span of 1 year or 2 years, it doesn't really bother in terms of employment opportunities, or even in terms of you're looking at the government facilities. It's not really counted. But at the same time, it's important to understand that by doing a 1 year program, you're really saving up on that extra year of living
Absolutely.
expenses. We have honestly tailored it to an extent where we're expecting a lot of working professionals to join our course, where they're taking a break from their jobs for a year, concentrating on their studies, and then going back into the work environment. So we
Correct.
don't want to take them away from the work environment for too long. Hence, we have managed to sort of design our course in such a way that it happens in 1 year, and we complete the 90 credits for MBA or the 60 credits for masters. So yeah.
Absolutely. So, student, I mean, this is a myth-breaking, fact for you. If you're looking for a one-year course, you are already in your professional career, wanting a break and study and go back, coming to EU Business School would be, the wisest decision. And you can look at upcoming intake and get in touch with us to start your process. Shanice, my next question: What are uh, you know, what are the fees and scholarship that we can look at for upcoming intake? We have upcoming intake sooner in fall.
In
So,
Jan, yeah,
yeah,
we have October and then we have Jan. For
correct.
October, we have a few merit-based scholarships that are available. Then we have an ambassador scholarship that's also available. But mostly we're looking at the next year intakes. If you're looking at early bird scholarships, which are yet to be announced, we don't know if it's happening, but there is a slight possibility that it might. We have the Jan, the March, and the October intake of next year. So that's again where we're looking at scholarships. But in terms of the tuition fee structure, I'll just give you a rough idea. For bachelor's, it would be for 1 year it's 12,900 euros, which is approximately about 10 lakhs in Indian rupees, which includes 2 semesters. And then you have the master's program, which is 14 to 50 euros, in Indian rupees, approximately about 11.5 lakhs. And the MBA would be 20,850 euros, which in Indian rupees would be approximately 17.5 lakhs. So that's somewhat what you're looking at in the ballpark for tuition fee.
Absolutely. I mean, again, this is a myth breaking question. Students usually have an idea that it's expensive to study in Western Europe, and especially, a traditional country like Germany. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty affordable, like going to any good university in Mumbai or, in India also.
It's an affordable thing that an affordable product that we're offering over here, with I would say, it's see, you cannot really compare it to an Indian institution, for the simple reason that you're going abroad, you're learning how to live alone, you're interacting with people from different nationalities.
Correct.
And I think that's something that sort of grounds you as a person, makes you an overall sort of person. You can work in any company, you can work with any ethnicity of a person. You can work in groups, so it's very very different, and I can attest for this, being an alumni of EU Business School.
Absolutely. Shanice, my next question to you, I did visit the website and saw a list of successful alumni of EU Business School, who graduated and are posted in different, levels in different organization doing their own startup. So what support EU Business School offers to student in terms of, getting the placement or getting that first step into their international career?
Yeah. I think it's very important to point out that it is that we as an institution, or any institution for that matter in Germany, is definitely going to provide you with the support that you need to find a job, but not necessarily will guarantee you that job or placement at the end of the day. I always say it's a two-way stream. You have to. We have the career service department that is available on campus to support our students, but it is also the students' sort of effort to sort of even reach out to the career service department and take their help while applying for a job. The career service department is available online, is available, sorry, on campus, during working hours. In fact, students have a class with them on a weekly basis to do the basics of, framing your covering letter, framing your CV, looking at the way you can apply for a job, doing a mock-up interview, your 30-second elevator pitch as well. But it is also the students' sort of effort to go to the career service department and have one-on-one meetings to take that CV itself and to edit it according to the different jobs that you're applying to, edit a cover letter according to the different jobs that you're applying to as well. Um, and apart from that, we have the Learning from Leaders series, where we give you this brilliant network to reach out to whenever you're looking for a job. We have the Job Teasers website, which is available to any of our students to apply for part-time jobs, to apply for full-time jobs as well. Even if you go onto LinkedIn, and you'll see in Munich particularly, you have the most number of student working contracts that are available with companies like Allianz, Siemens, and that's where most of our students get recruited. Lastly, I know again something that is very important and people have heard about is German as a language. So I purely believe that it is important to learn at least an A2 or a B1 level of German in order to sort of secure your employment at a faster pace. So students are getting internships, students are getting part-time jobs, but to convert those internships to full-time jobs, it's very important that students know their level of German, and sort of use that to gain a full-time job. That is my thing. There are, of course, there are people who are going to get jobs in a pure English-speaking company, but at the same time, it's important to have German language to sort of accelerate the process of getting a job.
Absolutely. And Shanice, more on this, I suppose your advice would be start early, although EU has strong industry links, start early, and school is there to help you. At the same time, I think it gives access, being a Schengen region, not only to Germany as a destination, but look for opportunities across Schengen region.
Yeah. So of course there is obviously that sort of hitch when you're applying for other Schengen countries as well. Just to put it out there for students, if you apply for in Germany itself, it becomes easier because you have the job seekers visa that is pertaining to Germany,
Right.
and then there are other companies, other countries that could offer you a job, but you will need to have. What we call a sponsorship, a job. The company will have to sponsor your job or your visa in that a particular Schengen country. So it's obviously possible, but once you get, for students that are looking to probably transfer between countries, once you get a work permit in Germany, you can definitely apply for, for jobs in other countries in the Schengen area as well.
Absolutely. So, Shanice, my second last question. Why, in short, although you've detailed and brief, why Germany is a top choice or for students seeking employment or, an entry to an international career?
I think I have definitely, summarized this. I have definitely given you a bit of detail, but just to summarize it, I would say, number one, the number one point that many people know of is Germany has a country has a population which is of a much higher age bracket. You're looking at people above 60 in, if you look at the percentage of the population, a lot of people are above the age of 60. The young population is very less. They're looking at talent. They're looking at people that will sort of fill up the employment market as well. So it's very important to consider that. The unemployment rates are really low. You're looking at a fantastic salary bracket as well. The minimum salary that any student can get offered, even if it's a fresher salary, it will be 2,300 euros per month on a minimum basis. So, before taxation and all of that, students are looking at a minimum package of about 65,000
Wow.
euros per year. So that's one thing to definitely consider. And Yeah, lastly, I think it's the job seekers visa that's also looked upon when students consider Germany. And the PR is fairly easy as long as students have at least a B2 level of German. And a work permit to sort of apply for PR opportunity as well in Germany.
Absolutely. Shanice, I have a quick question for you. How it is different from studying at a business school versus a university?
I think the smaller sort of campus size is what you would sort of classify as a business school, and a university has these huge campuses with huge class sizes as well, where you sort of get lost in the process. You don't know, your professor doesn't know you as a person. Assignments are submitted online. There is no group work projects. There are no presentations that happen because it's difficult to do it with a class size of 1,000 plus, or sorry, 100 plus students, right? With us, it's a lot easier. Definitely, our campuses are smaller as compared to a university, but we're more interactive. We're more welcoming. It's a very warm approach as well to students. We definitely don't believe in spoon feeding students, but at the same time, we will help them to the maximum extent to guide them and to make sure that they're comfortable on campus. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's mostly the size of the campus, and we're a business school because we offer pure business management courses as well as a few techno management courses. So because of that, we're more of a business school as compared to a university.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering this.
No.
Shanice, yeah, my last question to you, one advice for student looking at the nearest intake. We have our October intake open for student.
Yeah. So I think the right time to apply is now. Although our deadline is, I think, the 20th of August for October applications, I think you should keep, since we're talking today, I think you should keep June 30th as your deadline to sort of submit your application and also get a response from us, because the visa process can be slightly time consuming for Germany. So it's important to sort of get that visa appointment, to submit your application and wait, have that 1.5 month gap before your program starts on the 3rd of October. So submit your application, get your visa appointment as soon as possible, and I think that's the main advice that I could give students. Also, be prepared for the weather. As I mentioned, clothing is very important, and because the Oktoberfest happens in the last week of September and the first week of October, it's very important to also book your accommodation on time. Accommodation can run out or can get expensive, so the earlier you apply for your accommodation, the better it is.
Absolutely. So, audience watching this, please get in touch with us and hurry with your applications. Shanice and myself are here to help you. And with this, we end our session. I'm sure Shanice has given you a lot of informative information today. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Shanice, for this insightful conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, Jenny.
Sure. If any of our listeners seek further information, get in touch with us on our helpline number 9987099890, or visit our website aleph.in. Our experienced counselors will be happy to assist you instantly. My name is Jenny Lisa from Aleph, signing off with a promise to come back on a schedule next Friday with an interesting topic and some amazing speakers, enlightening you on the subject that matters to you the most. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Thank you.
Take care, Jenny. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.